Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. Alrighty guys, so the 2020-21 NBA regular season is coming to an end. It's crazy how fast the season has progressed by, but the seedings are pretty much set in the Eastern and Western Conference with the first through the sixth seed already locked up. Now, things are going to get interesting because a couple years ago, the NBA did implement the new rule of the play-in tournament we saw last year go down, and this year going to be continuing, in which the 7th and 8th seeds and the 9th and 10th seeds will be battling it out to secure a spot in the playoffs. Now, the available spots are the 7th and 8th seeds, and there will be 4 games happening, 2 in the East and 2 in the West, determining who will be securing a spot. The teams up for grabs are, we got the Pacers, Hornets, we got Celtics, Wizards, Grizzlies, Spurs, the Warriors, and of course, who cannot forget, the Lakers are also playing in a play-in tournament game. More to come on that. But first things first, let's get on started. I'm doing some predictions today about these play-in tournaments, many more predictions to come about the NBA playoffs soon. But let's get started off with the game happening down in the Eastern Conference between the Indiana Pacers and the Charlotte Hornets. Guys, which team do we got securing that playoff spot, and which team will be playing against the loser of the other game?
For this one, I think it's pretty easy. I think I would take the Pacers to win this game. I just think the Hornets are too inexperienced. They have Gordon Hayward, but other than that, they have lots of younger players starting on that team, and I just don't know if they're experienced enough for this game. So I'm gonna take the Pacers in this matchup.
Going off what Arian says, they don't even have Gordon Hayward. He's going to be out for this game. So even adding on to that, I don't think they have any sort of answer for Sabonis. So it's definitely going to be an easy win for the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, Pacers for sure. Especially hard. So the star player's out. The star player of the Hornets is out. So I don't really know what kind of chance that they're going to have against an experienced and good team like the Pacers.
I don't know who you guys are talking about. The star player is obviously House of LaMelo on that team. LaMelo Ball has been amazing. I think that we all know once we get down to the NBA awards coming out, Rookie of the Year, I think he has it up for locks. Or it could be co-MVP, co-rookie MVP, what's going on there. But for me, I got to go with the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, even without Gordon Hayward, I'm excited to see what they can do. The Pacers' defense is just all right, and I think the Hornets can get the job done. All right, guys, I'm moving on towards the second game happening in the Eastern Conference, that being between the Boston Celtics and the Washington Wizards. Now, guys, I think it's a bit of a surprise that we're seeing the Celtics here, considering the run they've made over the past couple of years, going to the Eastern Conference twice as well. We all remember that, being led by a young core. But now they're finding themselves in a playing game against a Russell Westbrook-led Washington Wizards. Our thoughts?
In this matchup, I think I'm going to go with the, again, experienced team. I'm going to take the Celtics to win this game. Now, obviously, the Celtics haven't performed up to expectations this year, but I think I'll barely squeak by. Bradley Beal and Russ have been a really good duo, but they just haven't been able to produce enough wins. And I don't know if the Wizards have the depth to compete with the Boston Celtics.
The thing about the Boston Celtics is that they're super inconsistent this whole year. Losing to teams like the Cavs and beating other great teams. So there's no knowing of how they're gonna play against the Wizards. But if I had to pick one team, I'd probably pick the Celtics. Like Arian said, they are experienced. They have a lot of stars on that team. Jason Tatum is a phenomenal player. And even though the Wizards do have Russ and Bradley Beal, I'm not sure that the Wizards can get the job done.
The thing it is about these playing games is experience doesn't really matter. It's kind of like football, any given Sunday. Like, this is one game can change anything. We all know who Russell Westbrook is. He's been an insane player for the past month. Triple-double after triple-double. He's caught fire. And honestly, this Celtics team is worse for wear. In the past month, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Houston Rockets have 2 combined wins that both come from the Boston Celtics. This team has no idea what they're doing. It seems like they're very disorganized, and they've kind of lost their defensive presence. So for me, I think this is an easy Washington Wizards pick. Yeah.
Exactly, Harsh. I totally agree with that logic. If we're going to a 7-game series, I might have to go with the Celtics because, honestly, it is. The fact is that they've played in high-pressure situations. We've seen the Eastern Conference Finals, and that means a lot. But in this game, seeing the hot mess the Celtics are, they've only won 3 of their last 10 games, and the Wizards, they've been increasing like crazy. They've been balling out despite Bradley Beal being out due to a hamstring injury. Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double now, officially gave him the title, passing Oscar Robertson earlier this season as well for the most amount of triple-doubles. I think that the Wizards are finding their groove. They're top 10 in the NBA for now, and I can really see them winning this game. And Celtics are going to find themselves playing the losers of the game we talked about. All right, guys, now moving on towards the Western Conference, where we got 2 more playing games happening. The first one being between the Memphis Grizzlies, led by John Morant, against the San Antonio Spurs. Guys, our thoughts?
Like Harsh said, this the whole thing about this playing series and this tournament is that it's only one game, right? So it's like it's super unpredictable which team's gonna win and which team's gonna lose, even if there's a clear favorite in terms of skill and talent. So this is a tough pick, but if I were to have to choose, I would choose the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies led by John Morant. John Morant's a great player, and I just think that the Grizzlies are a bit more talented and have better offense and defense than the Spurs. So I'm gonna pick them.
Although Obi makes a good point about the Memphis Grizzlies being more talented, I think they failed to forget that in a one-game series, the coaching matters a lot. Like Coach Greg Popovich, we know he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's going to come out with a game plan for one game that, a halftime adjustment is going to be necessary. It's not like they can drop this game with 3 in a row. And I think the Spurs with DeMar DeRozan, who's been in the moment so many times, is going to be able to come through and help the Spurs win.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to agree with Harsh. I think that, again, it comes down to experience for me. None of the Grizzlies have ever played in the playoffs, and the Spurs, obviously, they have DeMar DeRozan, obviously, what he did with the Raptors. DeJounte Murray has played in multiple playoff series, and obviously Greg Popovich, he's coached probably as many playoff series as there are possible. So I'm probably going to have to go with the Spurs just because they know what to do in the moment.
I would go with the Spurs, but seeing how great John Morant has been this season, continuing with the firepower he had from last year. People say he's like a Russell Westbrook, but with a floater and a jump shot. And honestly, that is sometimes true. And, I think the mentality matters a lot here. It's a playoff game for sure, but if the Grizzlies head into the game just like it's any other game, and they just ball out like they've been doing, I think they won 2 of 3 matchups, which they had against the Spurs. Much respect to Greg Popovich and the whole crew he got. We saw Tim Duncan thanking Popovich in a speech that was interesting to see, but I gotta go with the Grizzlies winning this game, and the Spurs will be playing the loser of the game we gotta talk about next. Alrighty, guys. Now moving on towards the game I think we're all anticipating the most, along with the NBA sports community. That being, of course, a rematch of the finals between LeBron James-led Los Angeles Lakers against the Steph Curry-led Golden State Warriors. Now, guys, we've seen the past years what has gone down between these two superstars, whether it be them playing against each other in 5 NBA Finals, this past NBA All-Star game, teaming up for the first time in their professional careers. They got a lot of history, a lot of bad blood, some good blood in there too. Our thoughts on what's going down in this one game.
Out of all the games, this is probably the easiest one to predict. I mean, I don't see any reason why you pick against the Lakers. They have Anthony Davis back. They have LeBron James. The Warriors have Stephen Curry, who can easily be defended by this Lakers team. This Lakers team did a lot better than many people expected with LeBron and AD out. With them back, I mean, this team is probably the favorite to win the finals if they're fully healthy, and they seem like they have been for the past few days. I don't see why you pick against the Lakers in this game.
Yeah, this should be a Lakers blowout. I don't expect the Warriors to put much of a fight. Besides Steph Curry, they really don't have any other scorers on the team. And we see the Lakers, if LeBron is healthy and AD, then I think just be based on those two, they should have this in the bag.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say it, and I hope I'm proven wrong, I think the Lakers are going to win. LeBron's back. AD seems like he's back in his groove. Like that whole team just seems to be playing like how they usually play in the earlier in the season. And the Warriors, obviously, all they can depend on is for Steph Curry to get hot during the game. And even if that happens, Lakers will probably find a solution and probably secure the win pretty easily.
You guys know that meme, right, with Paul Rudd on the Wing Show, where he's like, "Who would have thought? Look at us." I think that's what the Lakers are finding themselves. Where, wait, what are we doing here? We're in the wrong. It's like they're going in an airplane, they're in economy class. Wait, LeBron's like, hold up, upgrade us to business class real quick. That's what's happening. I think the Lakers will be caught a bit off guard by the Warriors initially. Steph Curry's firepower, but I do not have any hope for the Warriors after that first quarter. The Lakers experienced LeBron, AD, and company. They know what they're doing. It's going to be a great game till the end, but I think it's being overhyped a lot throughout the media because of LeBron versus Steph narrative. But it will not be a surprise when the Lakers are marching their way not only across the playing game, not only across the first, second, and third round, but also finding themselves in a one heck of NBA Finals. More to come on that. All right, guys, those are our thoughts on the upcoming NBA play-in tournament. A lot more to come to see who moves on to these 4 games. We'll all be watching these games. And as always, guys, be sure to like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Who do you think will be advancing out of these games, securing the 7th and 8th seed. As always, guys, take care. Catch you guys on the next one.